Two major storms. U.S. faces extreme weather, with rising threats of flooding and tornadoes across multiple regions. Washington, D.C. The United States is entering a highly unstable and potentially dangerous phase of weather this week. The latest meteorological models indicate the development and intensification of two major storm systems, one already impacting the North American mainland and another disturbance quietly building offshore near the Carolinas. Meanwhile, a prolonged heatwave continues to affect large parts of the country, especially the western U.S., heightening wildfire risks and posing threats to public health. Northern plains hit by severe storms, more dangerous days ahead. In recent days, the northern plains, particularly South Dakota and North Dakota, have endured a large-scale thunderstorm system that brought damaging hail, severe wind gusts, and isolated tornadoes. Many towns reported uprooted trees, damaged rooftops, and temporarily blocked roads due to fallen debris and flash flooding. Worryingly, this may only be the beginning of a prolonged period of hazardous weather across the north-central U.S. according to the National Weather Service, NWS, and the National Hurricane Center, NHC. The risk of continued severe weather, including damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes, remains elevated through the coming days, especially during afternoon and evening hours. Heading into the weekend, storm threat shifts east, Ohio Valley and Midwest in the crosshairs. Beginning Friday, the threat zone is expected to shift eastward. States across the Midwest and Ohio Valley will fall under the path of a strong thunderstorm system moving in from the west. These storms may bring intense winds, large hail, frequent lightning, and isolated tornadoes. Specifically, Friday will see areas like North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota under an enhanced risk category, level 3 out of 5. With warnings for apple-sized hail, wind gusts exceeding 70 miles per hour, and the potential for multiple tornadoes across the northern plains. By Saturday, the risk zone will expand into Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, and southeastern Minnesota. Thunderstorms here are expected to intensify around late afternoon into the evening, when temperature gradients, humidity, and cooler upper air systems converge to create volatile conditions. On Sunday, while the risk level may slightly decline, scattered severe weather remains possible across parts of the Midwest and Ohio Valley, especially in low-lying or high-humidity areas. Tropical disturbance off the Carolinas, clear potential for cyclone development. One of the most closely watched weather features is a tropical disturbance just off the coasts of North and South Carolina. According to the latest GFS and ECMWF model runs, this system now has up to a 50% chance of developing into a tropical depression, or even a named storm, if favorable environmental conditions persist. Even without full storm formation, the system carries a significant moisture load, capable of delivering 2 to 6 inches of rainfall, with isolated totals up to 7 inches. This raises major flood concerns for low-lying coastal areas such as Wilmington and Myrtle Beach, as well as hilly zones near the Appalachian foothills where flash flooding is a risk. 3 Atlantic systems under surveillance, which could impact the U.S. In addition to the Carolinas disturbance, meteorologists are tracking 3 active systems across the Atlantic. Tropical storm Dexter, currently moving northward and away from land, though rough seas and marine hazards remain. Low-pressure system near the Carolinas has high potential for tropical storm formation. Tropical wave from West Africa, still moderate in intensity, but long-range models suggest development as it enters the main development region, MDR, a known breeding ground for major storms this time of year. Ensemble model forecasts. Southeast faces prolonged rainfall threat. Ensemble forecasts, multiple simulations run under different conditions, show that the Carolinas disturbance may stall in place for several days due to weak steering currents. This scenario significantly increases the risk of prolonged rainfall and flooding across southeastern coastal states. Meanwhile, a stronger system farther out in the central Atlantic is expected to curve northwest and turn away from land, posing little threat to the U.S. in the next 10 days, based on current model guidance. Environmental conditions. Warm waters fuel storms, but dry air still a barrier. Sea surface temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico and western Atlantic currently exceed 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, providing optimal energy for tropical cyclone development. However, a layer of dry mid-level air is suppressing strong convection in some areas. Should this dry air erode, rapid storm intensification could occur with little warning. Localized flood alerts for the Carolinas and the Southeast within the next 48 hours. High-resolution models like HRRR and NOM project slow-moving thunderstorms across North and South Carolina. Daily rainfall totals of 0.1 to 2 inches are expected, with potential accumulations of 6 to 7 inches in low-lying coastal zones, enough to trigger significant urban and flash flooding. Local officials are actively rolling out emergency response measures and urging residents to follow updates from NOAA and the National Weather Service. Public urged to disregard unverified hurricane models circulating online. In recent days, several viral social media posts have shared dramatic model images depicting a major hurricane hitting Florida or the Gulf Coast within 10 to 15 days. Experts warn the public not to rely on these unofficial and unverified graphics. Most of these are based on raw, single-run models and are not backed by professional analysis. They can cause unnecessary panic. A spokesperson from the National Hurricane Center stated, "People are strongly advised to rely on trusted sources such as NOAA, NHC, the Weather Channel, or other verified forecasting outlets." Mid to late August. Dangerous heat to return. Following a brief cooldown in the Midwest and Northeast this weekend, climate outlooks suggest a resurgence of heat by mid to late August. Cities like Phoenix, Dallas, Las Vegas, and parts of Central California could once again see consecutive days exceeding 100 degrees Fahrenheit, approximately 38 degrees Celsius, heightening the risks of heat stroke, wildfires, and surging energy demand.